The power of silence. What happens when you stop speaking? What if the most powerful spiritual practice was simply not speaking? What if silence wasn't the absence of sound, but the presence of truth? For centuries, yogis, sages, and mystics have embraced mauna, the sacred vow of silence, not as isolation, but as a portal to awakening. In this sacred teaching, we'll explore what happens when you stop speaking, why silence is more than quiet, and how mauna can purify the mind, unlock the heart, and take you deeper into the self than words ever could. Section 1. Silence in the yogic tradition. In Sanskrit, the word for silence is mauna, derived from muni, meaning a sage or seer. A muni is one who sees through silence, not speech. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna declares, Maunam kaivasmi guhyanam. Among secrets, I am silence. Gita 10:38. In yogic life, silence is not a retreat from the world. It is a return to the source. In silence, the ego has less space to perform. The mind begins to observe rather than react. The inner mantra becomes more audible than the outer world. Yogis do not stop speaking to become reclusive. They stop speaking to become receptive. Section 2. What happens neurologically and energetically. Modern research confirms the power of silence. 2 hours of silence per day has been shown to stimulate hippocampal growth, aiding memory and emotional balance. Silence activates the default mode network, which enhances self-awareness and insight. Lack of speech reduces cortisol, the stress hormone. It enhances auditory sensitivity, making mantra and inner sound more vivid. Energetically, each spoken word engages the throat chakra, Vishuddha. Silence recalibrates this center, purifying speech, thought, and perception. The prana that fuels speech is conserved and redirected inward. In silence, energy gathers rather than disperses. You become dense with awareness. Section 3. Stages of entering mauna. The process of entering sacred silence often unfolds in stages. Phase 1. Restlessness. The mind races, the urge to explain, comment, or connect arises. Phase 2. Inner dialogue. Surfaces. Old thoughts, unresolved stories, and internal commentary rise. Phase 3. Stillness begins. Thought slows. A quiet space between thoughts becomes noticeable. Phase 4. Radiance emerges. Presence feels vibrant, not empty. Silence begins to feel alive. Phase 5. Listening deepens. Sounds feel like textures. Intuition and subtle knowing arise spontaneously. This is when silence becomes sacred presence. Section 4. How to practice mauna, even in daily life. You don't need to retreat into a cave to experience this power. Here's how to begin. Daily mauna ritual, 15 to 60 minutes. 1. Choose a time each day to be completely silent. No talking, no texting, no external input. 2. Sit comfortably. Breathe slowly. No need to do or fix anything. 3. If thoughts arise, let them come and go like birds across the sky. 4. Use a mantra like Soham, I am that, or simply breathe and be. 1. Listen to the silence, not just around you, but within you. Optional. Extend this into half-day or full-day silent retreats, especially on full moons or solar festivals. Section 5. Signs. Silence is transforming you. When practiced consistently, silence begins to shape your entire being. You may notice increased clarity in speech, with fewer unnecessary words, a deepening of intuition and listening, a subtle joy in simply being. The voice of the heart becomes louder than the voice of the mind. Others may feel drawn to your presence without knowing why. Silence becomes your teacher, and your presence becomes your offering. Section 6. Poetic reflection. In the beginning was the Word, but before the Word there was silence, and the sages sat with that silence, not to escape, but to listen. For silence is not emptiness. It is the sound of the soul waking up. When you stop speaking, you begin to hear the language that God whispers. Speech has its place, but silence is a temple. It is the space where the self becomes visible, the moment when listening becomes sacred. If you're ready to deepen your spiritual practice through inner stillness, personalized mantra, or advanced retreat methods, you're warmly invited to begin your journey through the Siddhic Blueprint or receive your personalized Vedic mantra below. And in our next sacred teaching, we'll explore what enlightenment really feels like. Yogis explain, an intimate look at the inner experience of self-realization. Until then, speak less, listen deeper, and let the silence finish your sentence.